All right, Cap. Jeez. So this week from Life Vampire, that death will come, mortal, finite, and fragile, and then soulmate from Chakra Wisdom. Very simply, life is too short to be piddle-farting around and not being honest about how you feel. And that's basically what it comes down to. That death will come is that reminder that your time in the meat suit is not going to be forever. So it's like, stop wasting time. But with soulmate, you may be like wasting your breath having conversations with people that are not authentic to how you really feel, because that's really what this card is about. It's asking, what truth are you embracing? It's saying that you need to speak your truth. It's about choosing love, freedom through transformation, new truths, right? So to me, this is just basically saying, look, your time is running out here when it comes to... All right, Cap. Here's your overall for the week. Oh my God, yeah. Oh boy. We'll see. We'll see how he's playing out here. Oh my shit. All right, so in the past, the Queen of Swords. And again, I'm going to say it, right? These are not going to be for everybody. This is going to be for the Capricorns that are focused on a person, what they're doing right now. And it's not that you're hoping and fearing around them, but they are going to be the main focus on what you choose to do. Now, with the Queen of Swords as a past coming through, this is you going, don't bullshit me anymore. And that is what I feel like from her. There is a reason why you're coming in as her from the past and needing to pull on this now. And it may be because of something that somebody has done, right? We look at the Queen of Swords as a single woman, the divorced woman, right? Because her partner is not emotionally available. But with the King of Wands being the overall, it may be because this person has commitment issues. Maybe they're just too wild, right? Which is possible. But the way that you're coming into this is like, damn, man. What did he do? He or she, for that matter. Oh, Cap. In great, like, I'm going to say it again. You will know if this is for you. But apparently somebody's got to hear this. The Nine of Swords being in the present moment. And I point this out with this one, and I love that this is what is depicted here. Right? When we see the Nine of Swords, immediately it's all of those horrible thoughts. But the only reason why you're thinking that way may be based on the actions of another person. You may be, thinking the worst here, or fearing what is going to happen, right? Fear and anxiety, all of these horrible thoughts. But the owl, it's like you're purposely pushing down that inner wisdom and letting these thoughts take control of you. But, with him being the overall, it has to be something that this person has done that's making you think this way. Future conditions, the Queen of Pentacles, perfect. It's perfect. Do not have fear and anxiety over being able to, create stability for yourself, especially if we're looking at possibly a separation here between you and another person, whoever this person is. I worry, though, with the Queen of Pentacles being future conditions, that there may have been like some financial security with, working with this person or being together with this person. The Queen of Pentacles in future conditions, because of the way that you kick this off, it's like you progress to you, back to you, doing what you know how to do. Right? Being the one that knows how to bust her ass, create security and stability for you, your family members, right? Whether you're male or female here, I feel like this is the progression of you based on the actions of another person. But because there's still the main focus, like I said, I worry that some of you may have fear and anxiety over your ability to do things on your own. But you know how to do this, right? Your best path to follow, the Ten of Pentacles. Now, I think that looking at this, whether we're talking about you dealing with a family member or a spouse or whatever the situation is with the King of Wands, this is you needing to focus on your overall security and stability, because the progression and the way that I'm looking at it, you need to focus on, creating that for yourself, for your family, keeping your family together here. working through money issues, dysfunctions, whatever is going on. But I feel like it's going to be up to you to keep the stability right now, right? You may not get help from another person here because of the Nine of Swords being there. And because you've had to be blunt and direct with this person before. Are they disrupting this overall security and stability? Do you need to stop focusing on them and start focusing on this? In your environment, the Six of Pentacles, this is what I'm talking about. And like I said, this is going to be for just those of you who are dealing with money issues in regards to possibly a separation here between you and another person, whoever that person is. When you're looking at the Six of Pentacles, this to me with the Nine of Swords is fear that, there's not going to be that assistance anymore. Right? Now, definitely you could be dealing with a person here who is constantly looking for a handout from you. And with the Nine of Swords, I think that that this is not the right thing to do. You need to think about you. You need to think about your security and stability, not being there to support somebody else who obviously isn't there to support you. That's what I feel like looking at that. Don't do it anymore. Don't, hand money over. As far as like if they owe you something, right, you may not get it. Like you may not get the assistance that you are looking for anymore from this person. Wow, Cap. Your hopes and your fears, the Empress, absolutely makes sense to me, right? I look at this and I think, especially if there are kids involved, because I look at the two as the same thing with the woman in the Nine of Pentacles, right? And again, whether you're male or female here, this could definitely have to do with baby mama drama stuff. And I hate saying that, but for you, as far as hopes and fears, this is about you needing to feel abundant, feeling comfortable, being secure, right? Being able to enjoy your life. If you're not enjoying your life right now and dealing with this person, then the focus needs to shift. It needs to go back to you, your comfort, your stability, your happiness. And this could definitely be about a situation here where somebody may owe you money because of child support, which is possible. Some of you may have issues with being on your own and being pregnant, which is a possibility here. Right? But you're good. Like you can do this on your own. Don't let your thoughts get ahead of you on this. And certainly don't give to anybody who's not willing to help you out. Especially if this is like a single mother type of situation here. Wow, Cap. And then coming out the Magician, and that's what I'm talking about, right? Certainly don't let somebody manipulate you into thinking that you need to continuously help them when they should be helping you, right? But as far as your ability to create what you want, you have what you need to do this, If you can manifest bullshit, you can manifest better things. All right. Looking at the Seven of Cups and looking at the Queen of Swords, you are coming off as, look, don't play with me anymore. Don't bullshit me. Don't lie to me. Just give me the truth. I'm going to give you the same truth. But then at the same time, I think that some of you are fantasizing about, what could possibly have happened. But the thing is, though, with the Queen of Swords being there, I think that there's a harshness because your fantasy about what could have been isn't becoming reality, But looking at the Knight of Wands and looking at the Nine of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, you're definitely talking about the in and out here because you wouldn't be thinking that way if that weren't the case, especially with the King of Wands being there. You may have fantasized about this person being something different, but I don't think that they really care about, what they're doing, right? Because the Knight of Wands doesn't care about consequences of actions. He's just going, and the only reason why I look at this in a negative way is because of the Nine of Swords being there. Now, with the Queen of Wands coming out, looking at the Queen of Pentacles and looking at the Magician, I feel like once you feel a little bit more confident in yourself, you will get to this place where it's like you're literally turning your back on him. I don't need that. I don't need you You know, I'm good on my own. I know how to create security and stability for me, my kids, my family, you know, whoever it is that you're surrounded by. But I do think that this is going to have to do with some of you who are having kids or have had kids with someone, right? And I think it's you finally saying, you know what, I can go my own way, right? I can attract what I want this time, you know, feeling better about yourself. And that's what you're kind of hoping for, though, too, with the Empress, you know. Wow, this one's different. What I'm getting from this is different. But because of him being the overall and the Nine of Swords, to me, it just kind of puts a taint on everything, especially considering that you come in as the Queen of Swords. You know, and again, whether you're male or female, that doesn't matter to me. It's the personalities, right? But I feel like this is the progression of you. But it's because of the actions of this person. But your focus needs to be on you, your family, your security and stability, where your money is actually going. You know, needing to stop worrying about whether or not this person is going to assist or pay child support, which could be a possibility here. And then tranquility. You know, and like I've said with compassion before, right? Having compassion for yourself and what you've been through. Especially if you're having to bounce back from a difficult situation, with resilience. Resilience leading to compassion. Compassion leads to tranquility, where, you know, you finally get to have some peace. You know, but you have to come from a place of compassion, not just for other people, but for yourself, right? There's no point in, you know, looking at other people and hating them for what they do. You know, if you come from a place of compassion, then it's easier for you to just drop it, you know. Fine, whatever, but I'm going to focus on treating myself better, especially with tranquility being there. And then love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. Love is all around you. You don't need to shut yourself off and think that, you know, the only love that you're going to get is from a person who, you know, is not helping you, right? This is just a reminder that you need to be authentic. You need to be true to who you are. You need to speak truthfully about how you're feeling, because your time is running out here. And I don't mean that your life is going to be over with. Your time with this situation is running out. So it's like, why not just take control here and say what you need to say when it comes to how you feel? But remember that there is always love around you. You know, if you accept that as a truth, then you can manifest something better than what you're experiencing now.